wanted to show you guys where I live here, how I live, how people live here. This is a very average Russian neighborhood. Basically, it's an apartment complex. So let's take a look. So here's their little tiny sportplощadka, their little workout area that's outside. It's very small here. They're usually a lot bigger. And then there are two playgrounds. Here's one of them. And so there are several buildings around like this. And you can see their little stores and restaurants and things on the bottom floor. There's the other playground over there. That playground's a lot bigger. I think it's for the older kids. These are new apartments and they are popping up everywhere. There are some more stores over there. It's very convenient to just be able to go to the store, just go downstairs and go to the store. And I actually have a grocery store that's underneath my building, but on the other side. So here's my building. And they have an intercom system. So you can call up. You can call up to let you in. So we have this thing. Do that. You in. So here's the inside of the building. Okay, so we just got into my apartment and here's the intercom phone for me all the way at the top. I don't know why it's there, but I can't even reach it. It's literally near the ceiling. So I don't know, maybe the person that renovated this place was really tall. Anyway, we're in the entryway and the first thing you want to do when you come into a Russian home is take off your shoes. And you want to put on these topachki. And the topachki are slippers. So they don't want to bring any dirt from outside into their home. They're very serious about hygiene. It's considered very rude if you don't put on these topachki. And the first time I came to my husband's home, he was so flabbergasted that I walked in with my shoes on. This is how all their light switches look. And they're usually in kind of weird spot. And we have this, and when you first come in, you have this area to hang your coats and your hats and your scarves. And that's very important. These doors with glass panes are very common in Russia and they will lead to the bathroom, the bedroom, the kitchen, everywhere. Okay, let's take a look at the bathroom here. This metal thing, they hook it up to the hot water pipes and it warms their clothes or towels and dries their clothes or towels. And then we have the little washing machine here. They're very often found in the bathroom or in the kitchen, but not in a separate laundry room. They don't usually do that here. And it's pretty small, but it's fine. And the decoration in here is just beautiful. I really love how they did this. They made everything matching and I love the flowers and they do that a lot here. They like to add a lot of texture and patterns in their decorating. And here's the bathtub / shower. It has jets in it and the bathtubs here a lot of times are pretty huge, much bigger than in America. This thing right here heats up the water if the hot water goes out in the apartment. And then here's just a look at the bathroom from another angle and they have this really nice mirror, which I had one like that in America and I love these. I don't like to live without them. Okay, so let's go take a look at the kitchen now. I love this kitchen. It's beautiful. I love the style they decorated it in. I think it's some kind of European style. We may have even seen it at some point in America, but it's still pretty popular here, although I believe maybe it was more popular in the late 2000s. They have a tiny sink, much tinier than we usually have in America. And over here we have the electric kettle, of course, because no Russian home can be without one. Everywhere you go here they have one. Even when I went to Mongolia they had one. It's because they drink tea a lot here. And over here we have the whole tea set up. This is the Chinik. because they call tea chai, and they put the loose leaf tea in here and then pour the hot water from the electric kettle, and they just leave it in there, and it's really strong because it just soaks there. And so they put a little bit in their cup, and then they heat up the water in the electric kettle and they pour it in the teacup over that's steeped, and it's really good. And then Russian people have to have a treat with their tea, so they have usually cookies or little cakes. Okay, so let's take a look in the fridge. Let's see what's in a typical Russian fridge. Well, here's a staple food item. It's grechka. Grechka is buckwheat, and we don't eat it very often in America, but it's everywhere in Russia. And here's that loose leaf tea I was talking about. It'll have different things in it. This one has apples, blueberries. This milk, you'll see that their milk is typically in a bag like this, which is different. I've never seen that in America. And that milk is produced in this city. Each region has their own regional dairy farms and just farms and everything in general, factories. So all of these items were produced here in this city, and that feels a lot safer to me that it's produced right here. We know what they put in it and we know what they're doing. And this is fresh slivki, which is cream, and this is fresh tvorog. Both of these items are fresh from a farm, and this is very common here. You go to these little stands and people that own farms sell their products. Oh, and tvorog is a cheese. So I love that most of the items in my fridge come from this city. And these vegetables actually came from our garden, so that's nice too. Okay, so now let's check out what we have in the freezer. What's in a typical Russian freezer? First of all, we have this vareniki. Vareniki is like a dumpling that has potato. This one has potatoes, onions, and those like green onions in it. And they're delicious. And by the way, all of these were also made in a factory right here in this city. They're all local. And then we also have this pelmeni, and that is another dumpling type item. This has meat in it, usually pork and beef, or maybe just pork and things like onion. You might have noticed this kind of large chair here in the kitchen, and it actually pulls out into a single bed. That way, if you want to have guests over, they can stay there. And this is very common in Russia too, that you'll see a bed in the kitchen or a bed on the balcony or just anywhere. That way people can sleep in other areas than just the bedroom, especially if you have a 1-bedroom apartment. But it won't look like a bed. It will be a fold-out chair or couch. Okay, let's check out the balcony. I typically see balconies used for storing cleaning products and also for hanging the clothes, because Russian homes typically do not have a dryer. They will have a washer, but no dryer. So they hang their clothes up like this. And I like to stand up here and look out and see the people below. It's actually a pretty nice view. You can see how big the neighborhood is, all these different apartments that all makes up one neighborhood. I almost forgot to show you guys the ceiling in the kitchen. Russian homes I see very often have these really wild ceilings, but they're so cool. I love them. I love how unique and creative they are here. I also wanted to show you guys that they have this little tiny dishwasher here, and I usually don't see dishwashers in Russia, but they actually have one in this apartment. And here's the bedroom, and you're probably wondering, where is the bed? Well, this couch doubles as a bed. Russian people make use of every inch of their apartment because the apartments are small. So this room doubles as a living room. It is a living room and a bedroom, and you just fold the couch up when you want to make it a living room, and you take the bed out when you want to go to sleep. And here's how you open the bed. It's actually super comfortable. I was surprised. It's very comfortable. And here's the bed when it's made up. So, you just put the blankets and sheets and the pillows there, and you just go to sleep. And it's just as comfortable as any bed and saves space. Another creative ceiling in the bedroom. This one, the blue sky with the light as the sunbeam, and the night sky as well. So it's pretty cool. It's right above my bed. It's actually really nice to wake up to. It's kind of pretty. And here's just another view of my bedroom. Oh, the windows here are pretty different from America. And when I first came here and I opened it like this, you see how it's like kind of falling inward towards you? I did that at my husband's apartment and I thought the window was falling on me and I started yelling at him to help. I was like, help, I don't know what I did. The window's falling. I broke it. But that just, it opens like that so you can just get some fresh air, and you can also open it like this when you turn the handle completely horizontal, you know, just to get more fresh air. So that's pretty cool. I like that feature actually.
But I just wanted to show you guys my apartment quick because it's so cute and I love it, and it's the first like long-term apartment I've gotten here. So, and it's really like average apartment, you know, like this is real average Russian living. This is literally, this is life here. You know, when you see stuff online showing people living like people did hundreds of years ago, that's just not accurate. The real truth, I guess, would be boring to people because it's just like this and it's just normal.